After a roller coaster night in San Antonio, the Rowdies return home with 5 regular season games left, now in second place in the East and hosting rival Memphis 901 FC. It's the Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting Memphis, coming up next on ESPN+. Welcome to the most beautiful place to play soccer in USL Championship. Talking about St. Petersburg, Florida, and Al Lang Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Tonight, they welcome Memphis 901 FC. And we welcome you into the booth. Everybody thrilled you're here. Drew Felios alongside my main man, Ryan Davis. All right, Ryan, what a game it was last week against San Antonio. The Rowdies trail by 2. Then they take a 3-2 lead. Then they concede late for the draw. What are you noticing about Tampa Bay's tendencies thus far?
I think because we're so late into the season, we're starting to see injuries on the defensive end. Consequently, because of that, a lot of defensive cracks and lack of intensity is starting to open up. And the Rowdies are finding themselves playing from behind more often than not.
Still, though, that front line for the Rowdies, that big 3, they are something else, aren't they?
36 goals between J.J. Williams, Kyle Jennings, and Charlie Dennis. They've covered up those defensive cracks, those frailties by the Rowdies, by conjuring up goals consistently every game.
So tonight, the Rowdies welcome Memphis. Rodrigo da Costa certainly one they are going to have to mark. He stung the Rowdies on September 6th.
Well, he was part of the biggest trade in USL Championship history, with swapping places with Phil Goodrum. He's lived up to his end. He has 11 goals and a bunch of assists. He plays as a 10, helps out in the midfield, and gets forward in attack. He's the full package for the team tonight.
As for Tampa Bay, Kyle Jennings with 14 goals amongst the league leaders. He has been sensational this year.
Confidence, nothing but confidence. Left foot, right foot, balls coming from the side, over the top. Kyle Jennings is doing it all, and he's running off of the ball, giving the midfielders a target to work with. He's unstoppable.
One more note, once again, Nicky Law, Rowdies head coach. He'll be watching from afar tonight. Stuart Dobson is the man on the bench for Tampa Bay. It's the Rowdies taking on Memphis 901 FC. We've got the kickoff from downtown St. Pete. It's next.
Imagine a company steeped in heritage, innovating into the promise of what the future can bring, like a phoenix helping others find prosperity. Sagicor's brand, the wisdom to help people make solid financial decisions, and the compassion to do good for society and those in need. Life insurance and annuities from Sagicor show your partner, family, and loved ones just how much you care about their financial security. Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
¿Puede un seguro médico ayudar a curar la soledad? ¿Puede cuidar a tu mejor amigo también? ¿O tomarte de la mano por 9 meses? ¿Puede estar disponible para ti a las 3 a.m.? ¿Puede estar contigo en cada paso? Nosotros sí lo creemos. ¿Qué más puede hacer un seguro médico para ti? Averígualo.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences, find new roads. Get 2.99% financing for 5 years on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups, or current competitive owners get $3,000 total cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. See your local Chevy dealer.
Moments away from kickoff here at Al Lang Stadium, the Rowdies and Memphis set to tangle tonight on ESPN+. Beautiful night it is here at Al Lang as we look at the Memphis starting 11. Drew Romig is the goalkeeper, makes his 21st start tonight. 5 clean sheets to go with it. Luis Fernando, tremendous. We told you about DaCosta in the open. Also, Aiden McFadden, one to watch. He's red hot. Had 2 assists 1 week ago in a huge win for Memphis. And for the Rowdies, Tampa Bay with Josh Perez, number 98. His role has been increasing over the past several games. He got a big-time goal at San Antonio. And Jordan Doherty makes his 100th appearance tonight for Tampa Bay.
He is the unsung hero of this Rowdies team, Jordan Doherty. 3 seasons in, 100 caps, youngest Rowdy ever to do it.
Jordan Doherty came here as an 18-year-old several years ago. He has grown up right before our eyes. Went back home, came back, and has made the most of the time in his second stint as a Rowdy. Doherty, the career celebrated here by the Bay here tonight.
And he's covered so many holes for the coaches that's come and gone in the Rowdies staff, whether it's defense, wide, outside, or inside. He takes care of the ball. He's fantastic defensively. His awareness is brilliant. And he's just that quiet leader. And by the way, has a rocket of a shot from outside the box. We've seen that before.
Charlie Dennis, 11 goals on the season, all smiles for good reason. Connor Antley, slight injury he had recently, has been able to overcome it. Aaron Guillen still doing his best to overcome that. And speaking of injuries, Stuart Dobson and the Rowdies dealing with a team that is certainly not 100% coming into this game.
You know, the fact that the Rowdies got the injuries now, when they had so much credit to their names with points advantage over the third place team, they can afford a little bit of a healing period. And then when it's time for the playoffs, Aaron Guillen and company can get back, and the Rowdies can have actually a full 18.
Memphis will wear the all-white, Tampa Bay in the iconic green and gold tonight. And watching from afar, it's 12:30 a.m. in England, where Nicky Law, we know, is watching and coaching this team. And an app by the name of WhatsApp is his best friend here tonight. He'll be constantly chiming into that Rowdies bench.
That and a cup of tea to try and stay up and watch this game in the middle of the night. Yes, no doubt Nicky Law is going to be very communicative in the next 2 hours via WhatsApp.
J.J. Williams, 11 goals on the year, has been outstanding. And Rodrigo DaCosta right there for Memphis.
Can't say enough about DaCosta coming across from Tulsa. He had a target on his back.
Let's do this. Memphis and Tampa Bay underway from LA. So Memphis starts building from the back, get a nice ball in, try and go over the top. Sparrow will meet it. Let's address those injuries, Ryan. Especially for the Rowdies, it's going to affect the home side big time tonight.
Well, we're going to start with Zach Herrivel, who is so promising coming from Birmingham. He's been out for most of the season. Seb Dalgard, Mr. Utility Man on that right side or left, out. Caputo, the new man from Miami, gone. Lasso, the defensive wizard at centre back, gone. Guillen, the captain, gone. Arman, left side, out. Here comes Memphis.
So the visiting side wants to get on the board quickly here. Sparrow, already a save. Not even a minute in. Memphis sees an opportunity tonight. They feel they can jump on the Rowdies. Ryan, what are the keys to the match?
Well, I think we have to keep your eye on the man they call McFadden. He has a goal and 2 assists over the last 2 games. He's red hot on the wing. And then Rowdies have to play around the Memphis have to play around the press. Rowdies are going to be on the front foot like they always do in Al-Lang Stadium. And if Memphis can get around that press, then it'll be holes to exploit for the visiting team.
Ball comes off the foot of Sparrow. Connor Sparrow, 65 saves so far this year, 8 clean sheets to go with it. Sparrow has done incredible work, but has been a little vulnerable as of late, especially on the road.
It's a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde. You see some of the most incredible saves you will see in the USL. And then like last week against San Antonio, the ball came into the 6-yard box. He completely missed it. And then San Antonio equalized in the dying minutes. So a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde from Sparrow, but more of the savior rather than the guy who lets you down.
Freddie Kleeman will chase it down for Tampa Bay. Kleeman with that long range could be counted upon. A little more responsibility, a little more on his plate with Forrest Lasso nursing an injury. Want to certainly get him healthy before the postseason.
You can see Memphis just stopping at that second, third, and trying to block all the passing lanes and have Kleeman become the playmaker.
Doherty sends it back. Sparrow handling it once again.
Try to understand, Aaron Guillen, always in the top 5 in passes in the USL. He's the one who dictates the ball, where it goes coming out of the back. So yes, his defensive abilities are going to be missed. But what about bringing the ball into Lewis Hilton's feet? That's another trademark of his.
It's finding ways to execute, finding ways to win, even when your best players are not on the pitch. The Rowdies have done a good job of that throughout the year, but now it really gets interesting in late September and into October. Connor Antley just runs over a Memphis player, Aaron Malloy, in his way, and Antley, I think, has a point there, Ryan.
Looks like the Irishman may have taken one somewhere very uncomfortable. There it is, that knee, bit of a follow through. And yeah, it's going to take a while to recover from that one. Aaron Malloy.
Looked like Antley was possibly shoved that time in the back. Our referee tonight is Ricardo Fierro, Joe Suchowski, Jovalin Bori. Also the assistant officials. Our fourth official is Miguel Martis.
It's a thankless job being a referee. Everyone's going to question it, but it's so vital that they're decisive, and so far Fierro has done a great job. That was a tough call, but he was decisive about it, and that's all that counts.
Memphis now getting numbers forward. Rowdies trying to stay with the visitors here. First of 3 matches for the Rowdies in the next week as that one's sent out of bounds. We're also not just tracking this game tonight, Ryan. We're looking at Pittsburgh, a match right now that is in progress, and the Riverhounds a goal up on New Mexico. That is huge as far as the standings are concerned. Remember, they're 4 points ahead of Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Pittsburgh did most of the dirty work already in the season, and the last couple of games are going to be, let's just say, some of the easier teams in USL Championship. So if they can just hold serve, they can go all the way to the end at number 1. So it just makes this game even more important to follow up on.
Oh, J.J. Williams comes in hard and then goes down. Kind of landed funny that time, as a yellow is going to be dished out here to Graham Smith. J.J. Williams came down awkwardly on that right shin.
For anyone who was questioning J.J. Williams at the beginning of the season, well, this is what he was not doing. He was not pressing and closing down his space. Now he's doing the dirty work through. And that dirty work is now translating to confidence when he does have the ball.
Lewis Hilton will tee this one up. Graham Smith booked here in the 6th minute.
Well, there's no lumberjack at the back to pick out at the last post. It has to be Kleeman and company.
Hilton puts this one in motion in a really good spot and headed in by J.J. Williams. They're going to wave this one off, though, as the keeper came out, Romig, and I believe it is an offside call.
It looks like J.J. Williams may have jumped the gun, as they would say in a track and field event. Perfect delivery. He drew the keeper right into the play, and all any Rowdy had to do is to get a touch on it, and J.J. Williams got there first, but that extra step ensured that he got there first. What a delivery by Lewis Hilton.
So the Rowdies' early celebration cut short. Jan Eckler going down for Tampa Bay. And here's Luis Fernando. Well, you just get the feeling it's going to be a really physical game here in the opening minutes. Ball sent into the box. Antley there to clear it. I mean, we're here in late September, and these games feel like the postseason has already begun. The Rowdies taking every team's best shot in this month and in October as we get ready for that postseason.
I'll tell you what, Drew, you talked about refereeing being a thankless job. We have another look at that offside. Remember, it's a bang-bang play. Look at J.J. Williams when Lewis Hilton strikes the ball. Where's J.J. Williams? Well, he's not only in line, but he's behind the defender. So the linesman on the far side, not sure what he saw, but J.J. Williams was onside.
Smith. Williams coming at him again. Smith knows he's there this time as McFadden tries to send it in to the Rowdies side. Williams again jockeying for position. Fernando Antley able to win it.
You know, we look at the goals and all of the headline statistics, but winning the ball in midfield like the Rowdies did, now they get to regain possession and then they get to dictate at home, while Memphis was the ones who wanted that possession to pin the Rowdies back. These are the things that sways the game. That battle in the midfield, in the trenches, is what makes the difference in the scoreline at the end of the day.
Try to thread the needle with this pass. Lewis Hilton up to Jan Ekra, and now Perez handles along that left side. It's good to see Lewis Hilton. He looks just, by the early signs here, like he's starting to get back to his old self.
I tell you what, if you're a Rowdy fan, nothing will please you more than Lewis Hilton being back to his very best. Look at him dictating the general orchestrator, pulling the strings. He's the fittest man when healthy, and then he can strike the ball better than just about anybody else in this league.
Kept alive here by DaCosta. That's what fans don't realize too. You come back from an injury, and maybe we underestimate it too, Ryan. It takes a while to get that fitness level back before you start to feel things like normal again. Leston Paul from Trinidad with the touch.
Yeah, Leston Paul pushing up into midfield. Over 40 caps at Trinidad and Tobago. And his partner in crime, Jelani Peters, big centre back, number 27 for Memphis.
Charlie Dennis. Ball winds up with Hilton now. Lewis Hilton surveys the field. Dennis will turn. Charlie Dennis tripped up. Oh, just outside that 18-yard box again.
But Charlie Dennis is asking the question. The second attempt, the second foul was in the box. The referee played on here, that's a foul. And then the second attempt there, he's asking for the push from Malloy. But the first one is where the referee decides he's going to pull it back to. Now, Lewis Hilton wants this one, but Drew, I got to tell you, this is all about the left footer's angle. Charlie Dennis has a great case against Lewis Hilton and wanted to take this one. Let's see, yep, he's the last one to touch the ball with his hands, which usually means he's the one that's going to strike it.
Two outstanding players from England.
Oh, yeah.
Suiting up for the Rowdies. Lewis Hilton, Charlie Dennis.
Uh-oh.
And, oh, Hilton just touched it with those hands, Ryan. So
that's right.
It could be number 4 here.
He's still touching it against Charlie Dennis. He's going to come across and be like, oh, hang on a second.
I think they're trying to keep Memphis guessing here just as much.
Referee having the last word with the wall. No moving forward until the ball is kicked.
The Great Wall of Memphis has been formed. Dennis now sizing it up. Charlie Dennis up against that wall. No damage done. And Memphis gets out of danger.
Well, he won the argument, but he lost the battle. Didn't get the ball over the wall. And the Great Wall of Memphis, according to Drew Felios, won the battle.
Save money and earn benefits by jumping on board with 2024 Rowdies season tickets today by going to rowdysoccer.com or calling 727-222-2000. Big news coming out of St. Petersburg this week. The Rays agreeing to have a new stadium here in downtown St. Pete just makes it that much more exciting. And I'll tell you what, we talk about the Rays stadium, Rowdies fans will chime in and say eventually, where is our home going to be? That remains to be seen, but right now we're enjoying life by the water.
Two clubs that overachieve, over-deliver every season. That question deserves to be asked. Rays getting their stadium, and the Rowdies, who's been over-delivering over the last couple of seasons, deserve to have that question answered as well.
Two incredible franchises. Tampa Bay proud to call their own. What a sight. Asking players what's it like to play by the bay, and with that view in the background, and all of them say, man, there is nothing like playing, and Nicky Law told us nothing like coaching at Al Lang. Just the feel of stepping onto this pitch, it is special.
Yeah, the grass is immaculate, the stadium, the layout, and of course the breeze coming off the sea.
Here's the free kick. Put this one in position. It's at the feet of Hilton. Now here's Perez in a foot race. Perez looking for Dennis, who's in the neighborhood, and Rome comes up to sweep it off the ground.
Great decision. Carl Jennings was the dummy runner, as they would say. He drew the crowd, and he saw Charlie Dennis out in the corner of his eye. Perez just a half a yard too far in front. Good save by Rome.
14th minute. So excited you're with us, everybody. An awesome sports weekend. Drew Felios, Ryan Davis, and our entire Tampa Bay Rowdies television crew from downtown St. Pete here on ESPN+.
Are we allowed to say it's fall yet, Drew? I mean, it feels a little bit of fall in the air, right?
Just a little bit, getting a little bit cooler here. Feel free to shoot us a tweet tonight on X, that is. And remember, all negative comments go to Ryan Davis, C-O-Y-R.
Well said.
Here's Memphis, and a couple players there putting their heads together. Antley, physical, as he always is.
Love the diagonal run by Luis Fernando, and guess what? Connor Antley had to come all the way from left center back to stay with his guy and foul him on the right touchline. So you do whatever it takes as a defender, but great run by Fernando. Connor Antley, we talk about Jordan Doherty, but look at this guy. You could put him as the mayor, the governor, the tax operator, wherever you want him. He's going to do a job for you.
Another free kick on the way, off the foot of Aaron Malloy. The Irish midfielder, a couple goals on the season for Memphis.
I'll tell you what, Jelani Peters is a big sight.
Good looking ball here. Oh, and that was Ekra getting a piece. Perez, airborne as well. As it's batted around, and now Antley will control it. I mentioned Connor Antley. He's making his 97th appearance tonight. So Doherty with his 100th, Antley with 97.
Undroppable, Connor Antley. Right center back, right midfield, or actual left center back tonight. He can do whatever it takes, whatever the Rowdies need. And he does it with such power, such a presence. Connor Antley, the ultimate professional. Undroppable, as they say.
Relax boldly in Tampa Bay. Claim your next adventure at visitTampaBay.com. That's visitTampaBay.com. Scoreless here in the 16th minute. Rome gives it a ride to that left side. Tampa Bay now pressing just a little bit.
Just like in the keys to the match, we talk about Memphis trying to play out of the back, play past the press, and here comes Drew.
That was beautiful. And there's that man, number 10, DaCosta, 11 goals on the year. Little crossover in the neighborhood of Ekra. Jan Ekra just picked the pocket of the opposition. And now here comes Tampa Bay. Jennings, a run. Kyle Jennings, score! Number 15 on the season for Kyle Jennings.
You could bet the deed to your house that he's going to score it now. Kyle Jennings can do no wrong. Left foot, right foot, head doesn't make a difference. Balls on the side, balls in front. As soon as he was played through and the keeper on a 1v1, look at Jan Ekra coming from midfield, just carving up the defense. Now he's in on goal with that first touch through. And look at the finish. Drew Felios put the deed to his house on the desk before the shot, and he just won the prize. Kyle Jennings, 15 for the year.
Rowdies fans wondered what's going to happen after the loss of Sebastian Guenzati. Well, number 26 happened. Kyle Jennings, he has absolutely taking the Rowdies offense into overdrive.
He came in here last year in front of Neil Collins. He scored right here in Al Lang Stadium. He was the one bright spot for the Vegas team. And Neil Collins had to get him, and he did.
Ekra in the mix once again, doing all the little things here thus far. Dennis trying to chase it down around that center circle, and now Graham Smith handles again.
When we talk about fixtures, Graham Smith started all 27 games for 901 this season. 125 clearances, the centre-back. The closest to him is 49 clearances. He is just a cog in the middle of the defense for this 901 team.
Keep in mind this Memphis side had a 1-1 draw at Birmingham on Wednesday, so just played a few days ago. Rowdy's legs a little bit fresher here tonight at home. Usually works out well for Tampa Bay. Throwing on the far side as you look at head coach on the other side, Stephen Glass, coached at Atlanta United, also from Scotland, Aberdeen Scottish Premiership, spent some time there. That's big time stuff.
Yeah, also he's in the Dundee area. I know Coach Collins used to travel in those areas as well. I wonder if there was a bit of a chance to play together or rub shoulders. A lot of great coaches come from that district. Of course, Sir Alex Ferguson, Manchester United legend and football legend as a coach from Scotland as well. So they know a thing or two about the beautiful game.
It's so exciting when Jennings gets it in space like that, Ryan. It is a weapon. It's almost like when he's got space like that, he can just outrun everybody and dictate what he wants to do.
His first touch completely sets up the last touch. He's right on point. There's no mistake. He's so precise right now. Oh, no.
Oh, Sparrow comes out, and this is going to be called a foul. Connor Sparrow going to get a yellow here in this situation as well, as Akeem Ward, a superstar out of Virginia, took the bump.
Well, Connor Sparrow can be counting his lucky stars. One of the Rowdies players was in the vicinity. Look at this poor touch. It was Harris. And because Sparrow was not the last man, is the only reason why he was not sent off. Deon Harris was the last player, and that saved the little bird's hide.
So Sparrow booked here in the 21st minute. And Memphis getting a lot of free looks here in this first half. Aaron Malloy once more. He's the high assist man for this Memphis side. 6 assists this year. This one right at the hands of Sparrow. He climbed the ladder for that one.
Give Malloy credit. He wanted to put it on target. Connor Sparrow looking a little fidgety to start the game. Malloy took his time, just put it on frame, and Sparrow took care of the rest.
Ekra trying to shake free. Little hold called that time by DaCosta. Jordan Doherty. Not only is he making his 100th appearance, but when you talk Rowdy's MVP, you think, Ryan, that this guy is in the conversation up until now, if you were to judge everybody's play across the board.
Listen, we're always going to talk about the goals. Goals change matches. Carl Jennings, incredible. J.J. Williams, Charlie Dennis, assists and goals. But what about everything else? What about managing? What about defending? What about covering? That is all Jordan Doherty does for 90 minutes, week in, week out. Doesn't ask any questions. Is always fit, always available. And 100 games in just 3 seasons. Of course, went to Ireland, sharpened up his game, came back. He is a Rowdy true and true.
Ball touched by McFadden that time. And Connor Antley will place it down once again. 1-0, Rowdy's lead. Off the early goal by Cal Jennings, his 15th of the year. Dennis gonna lose it. Tampa Bay gonna have to retreat here. Memphis getting numbers forward. Rowdies frantically trying to get back. Here's McFadden trying to shake free for a shot, and Tampa Bay needed every single defender back that time. If you're Memphis, you got to work quicker than that.
Yeah, McFadden, though, full of confidence, like we mentioned. 2 assists and a goal in the last 3 games. He was an out-and-out winger for Atlanta. He's on loan to cover up, and he's playing wing-back or full-back for Memphis. Down goes Fernando. Malloy rolls it across. And we've seen McFadden do this for Atlanta before. Comes in on his weaker left foot and just trying to curl it in into Connor Sparrow's last post. But it all started with a high press that we're seeing right now from 901, disrupting the Rowdies as they try to play out at the back. Counter press, of course, conjures up so many goals, as we see here again.
Once again, Memphis threatening, and that one is in. DaCosta strikes once again for the visitors, and we are level at 1.
Well, the counter press works to perfection. And when you have a left foot like Rodrigo DaCosta, he looked off his man who was running over his shoulder and just curled it around Connor Sparrow to perfection. And that is the Rowdies just succumbing to the press of 901. Look at this. Jan Ekra got caught. And look at Rodrigo DaCosta. He looks off his man and just bends it around Connor Sparrow like a free kick. That is just perfection by the Brazilian.
Keep in mind, Aaron Guillen and Forrest Lasso not in the 11 tonight. So the Rowdies defense a little bit thin, and Memphis certainly knows that.
Yep, Jan Ekra, though, has to do better handling the ball. Once that ball is given up, guess what? Everybody's out of position now, Drew. Everybody's scampering back, and Rodrigo DaCosta, with that kind of skill, has you on over a barrel.
Meanwhile, Pittsburgh has gone up 2-0 now, as the Riverhounds extending their lead. Rowdies trying to keep pace here. That game's at halftime. We'll continue to follow it. Pittsburgh and New Mexico. And the Rowdies in 1 week will take on Loudoun United. In fact, they will host them. And right now, Loudoun a goal up on Lou City. How about that? Lou City came in here extremely physical a couple weeks ago.
The wheels seem to be falling off the wagon for Lou City. Can't seem to get anything right. Had a tough result. United up against them in the second half, Drew.
See how the Rowdies respond as Memphis has struck here in St. Pete.
Looks like Dion Harris is... Was it Dion Harris or was it Charlie Dennis?
Charlie Dennis going over to the Rowdies bench.
Looks like Dion Harris is in some trouble. This is the last thing the Rowdies need right now. Another hamstring.
So Dion Harris, the Rowdies spark plug. Although certainly a year that has not been up to his standard thus far. But again, just as you said, Ryan, this is going to make things that much more difficult.
Started really positively in 2023 and then got a heel injury halfway through. And he's sort of second-guessing himself with that burst of speed. And now he is on his sideline again, trying to see if he can come back into the game. Looks like Jake LaCava is going to get the nod.
So LaCava quick off the bench. 3 goals this year for the Rowdies, and that's a good answer. The Rowdies have certainly great players, great depth coming off that bench, but it has been tested big time here in 2023. And if you're Tampa Bay, you don't want to chance anything if that hamstring is not feeling it tonight. Certainly take him out, rest it, live to play another day.
Yeah, we talked about this little bit of a grace period the Rowdies have right now. If you're only going to focus on the playoffs, but they don't. They want to win the East. But you still have a bit of a period if things don't work out where you can rest some players and get them back to full strength. This Tampa Bay organization, they want to win the regular season. That is of great value. Usually shows who is the strongest team because your entire roster is tested over the entire season.
Goal kick now, Connor Sparrow. Not at one here in St. Petersburg. J.J. Williams. And now Ekro battling for it, steps on to Costa. Quickly, Ricardo Fierro jumping in there. These two teams did battle back on September 6th. That's not too long ago. It was a 3-2 victory for Memphis as LaCava will come on in, replacing Harris here in the 29th minute. But that game was back and forth. Memphis getting the better of the Rowdies on that night. And this team, their rise to prominence has been quick. It has been aggressive, and this team has sort of a swag about them, don't they?
Well, we talk about Tim Howard pulling the strings from up above. And with his leadership, he's definitely got the 901 soccer community behind them. Uh-oh, we have another player down, Drew. This time looks like Jelani Peters.
Well, concern on both sides here. As official comes and checks on Peters as he is now sitting on the ground. Select is the official match ball supplier of USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.selectsportamerica.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, player's choice.
All right, this one is a little bit close to home for me here, Drew. Jelani Peters is from Diego Martin, Trinidad. That's my hometown. So to see the big man go down is not a good sight.
See the water being passed around here. Players will take the opportunity to get hydrated. Again, the weather cooling just a bit, 82 degrees. Certainly not completely fall-like just yet, but it's a start.
Hey, that's fall in Florida, okay? Don't push it.
Cal Jennings coming back on for the Rowdies.
So I was walking my dog the other day, and there was this giant coconut branch that fell across the road. And I'm like, look, it's fall in Florida. You know how leaves fall like in Washington?
Yes.
But coconut branches fall here.
Of course. Yep. I went out and got a few artificial plants with that, you know, look like fall for my home, just to feel like
they were getting a little bit brown and red. Yeah, that's
right.
Beautiful.
Like I'm living in the Northeast, right?
Yeah. Whatever it takes, right?
Jordan Doherty, those soft feet, controlling it for the Rowdies. Kleeman. Sparrow puts it airborne, but this one will sail out of bounds, and it'll belong to Memphis.
You know, so often we look at attacking teams. How are they going to score? You know, how are they going to create? Well, you can't create from your defense. And 901 being so aggressive, pushing up, stifling this Rowdies team. Like we mentioned, a lot of defenders, Forrest Lasso, Aaron Guillen, who are so good at playing the ball out of the back, aren't there. So the Rowdies having a hard time getting the ball out of the back to the midfielders. And 901 is winning that battle at the moment.
You mentioned 2 moments ago when we talked about Memphis and their swag and just how the franchise just turned things around quickly. Tim Howard named sporting director. Ever since that happened, it just seems like the franchise has a different tone, doesn't it?
You know, when you have someone who's played for Manchester United, who's seen how the biggest clubs in the world operate, he can then bring that know-how to his hometown or to the town that he wants to be a part of and use that same structure to sort of line things up. And I think he's done a terrific job in getting this Memphis 901 team to where it is right now.
So Drew Romig will send this one in the air. 2 players we talked about in the open have goals for both teams. Jennings and Acosta. And here comes Cal Jennings again. Jennings in another foot race. Crosses it back and scores again. Unbelievable. This guy is like a video game.
It's dinner time, and Graham Smith has just been taken for dinner. Carl Jennings has just ripped him open and give the Rowdies a 2-1 lead. Drew, he's played in. This is something out of nothing. Williams the flick on. Now Smith is in position. This is nothing. Terci Radu, the Brazilian. He takes him on. And look at the finish, the confidence. He pulls to his right, finishes to his left. Game over. I apologize, Graham Smith. It's actually Terci, the Brazilian, who was just chewed up by Carl Jennings.
We're watching some legendary stuff here. The brace already by Jennings. And again, the Rowdies on top.
I mean, absolutely no regard for who's in front of him. He put the blinders on, went for goal, and just the finesse finish to top it off.
Leston Paul trying to chip away back at the Rowdies. Akeem Ward to the corner. So far, it's Cal Jennings 2, Memphis 1.
And lovely flick on by J.J. Williams, though. Great presence of mind, but he had so much more work to do, Drew. He had so much work to do, and boy, just made it look easy. Something so hard, he made it look easy.
McFadden now with Fernando. Kleeman heads it out. Kleeman's going to have to play big tonight. Antley gets in the mix. And Jan Ekra again trying to clear it for Tampa Bay. Saw Jake McClava fly into your screen there. This ball's intercepted. Look out again. Memphis, another opportunity. Oh, big save. Jordan Doherty comes in at the last moment. Rowdies lucky to get unscathed there. Play it once again here for Fernando. And Luis Fernando can't control it.
There comes a time when what you're doing is not working, and you have a 2-1 lead now. I think the Rowdies, just until they can get in at the half to talk things over and reassess this press, they maybe do better by playing the ball long and just going out wide. Yep, they go straight to J.J. Williams, a target man, asking for the foul. Excellent defense by Graham Smith.
Memphis quick striking here tonight. Another chance. Put it in front of goal and score. DaCosta. One more time. And we're level at 2.
Well, J.J. Williams is asking the question, but Memphis's press works again. They completely stifle the Rowdies, and McFadden gets his 3rd assist in 3 games. And Rodrigo DaCosta, 3 consecutive goals against the Rowdies now. Here's Fernando. A lovely touch by DaCosta, and back into the arms, of the feet rather, of DaCosta. But it all starts with the press, stifling J.J. Williams, and then it's all downhill after that, and the Rowdies split wide open.
We have got a shootout so far, folks. 4 goals in the first 35 minutes. We've not had a game this high scoring so far this year, and it's Jennings versus DaCosta. Both those guys kind of looking at each other, wondering who's going to blink first.
Carl Jennings is probably looking at the defenders and saying, can you please blink first, because you can't seem to even hold anything right now with the lack of manpower at the back corner. Antley out of position. But full credit to Memphis. The intensity of their press is giving the Rowdies fits.
Tampa Bay counters with Dennis, Charlie Dennis. As the ball goes out of bounds, the Rowdies will have their first corner kick of the night. Charlie Dennis trying to get involved here, late first half. So Lewis Hilton will do the honors, the outswinger. Keep an eye on number 9, J.J. Williams. Freddie Kleeman also in the mix there. DaCosta got a head on it. Ekra to try and run it down. He gets shoved a couple times, and the official will step right in. Jan Ekra. A little bit dinged up here this year, but able to overcome those injuries. He has gotten, I think, more durable over the course of his career, and he's become a rock for the Rowdies 11.
Playing a little bit deeper now, doesn't have to exert himself and play with pace at the top, behind the forwards. He can dictate from further back.
Send this one on. A couple players getting airborne, and Fernando coming away with it. This guy is just flat out dangerous. How about Perez taking it away? Former Miami star, and now at the feet of Sparrow.
Well, Josh Perez was brought in to play higher up, maybe alongside Charlie Dennis or Jake LaCava.
Over the top to Williams. JJ will try and chase it down, and he does in the corner.
Well, that's one way to get out of the press. Go to the corner flag and have JJ Williams or Kyle Jennings chase it. And now the Rowdies can build up from here.
Antley and the Rowdies now work it. Perez looking for the right opening here. Ekra. And the ball intercepted. Memphis once again comes away with it with Malloy. Malloy able to get by Williams. Here's Fernando. Fernando flick over the top. Rowdies won an offside. And finally, the whistle is blown. The USL celebrating Hispanic Latino Heritage Month with stories, events, and more, bringing to life this special celebration across the league. Go to uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-heritage to learn more. Okay, Ryan, you're in England. It's 12:30 a.m. Actually, coming up on 1:30 a.m. And you're watching your team play from halfway, or from really across the world. If you're Nicky Law, what are you thinking right now?
Well, you probably have to retrieve your phone from the parking garage, because you probably threw the phone out of the window a couple of times. And you have to walk downstairs, get the phone, and come back up to WhatsApp, and then you you take plan B, which is exactly what they did just now. Lewis Hilton going to a corner flag pass for JJ Williams to try to prevent stuff like this. Counter press again for the 901.
Yeah, it's happened early and often here tonight. Aaron Malloy again stabilizing things. Paul to the right side at the feet of McFadden.
Brilliant by Memphis. Now they get to dictate. The press has worked. Now they get to move the ball around, and the Rowdies have to trail. They have to react to Memphis now.
Turchi squeezing it inside to Fernando. But Fernando operates so well in traffic, doesn't he? Here's DaCosta. DaCosta along with Ekra. Antley again. Rowdies come out with it. Or so it looked momentarily. Turchi runs it down. High-scoring game so far. JJ Williams now maneuvering. Williams gets tied up there. That was a big-time collision right outside the center circle there, and now a heated discussion.
Well, JJ Williams, again, that touch completely eluding him. And now it got him in trouble, maybe getting a yellow card as he threw himself at Peters.
So Ricardo Fierro's handed out several yellows here in the first half, and there's Williams.
But again, it was because 901 was pressing so high. JJ Williams had to take precautionary measures to get out of that press.
So yellow to Williams here. Williams and Sparrow have been booked for Tampa Bay. Halftime, stay tuned. Got quite a slate for you. Whisper down the road. Another whisper challenge for the Rowdies. Those have been fun over the last few games. Look around the league. News and notes from USL Championship, and also highlights and stats from this wild first half.
Oof. I wonder if we could do the first broadcast of a Whisper Down the Road challenge. How would that go?
It'd be pretty cool.
Nobody will have a clue what we're saying.
That'd probably be a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Rowdies will have it here with Perez. Trying to get a quick throw in to Jennings. Why not? He is red hot. Is it going to come from Perez here or from Williams? Looks like JJ is going to do the honors. Lacava, Antley,
Now,
and Clement.
I understand Jake Lacava playing right midfield or right wing back now, has a lot of ground to cover. He's going to have defensive responsibilities. Very much an attacking player. Let's see how he handles that pressure.
This ball going to sail here out of bounds. And sometimes, Ryan, you know the old saying, you don't know what you have until it's gone?
Never heard of it.
Aaron Guillen is a fixture in the back for the Rowdies.
Oh, yeah.
He has been out for the last several games, and clearly you just feel the difference when he's not in there.
Oh yeah, I mentioned it before. Always in the top 5 in passes per game. And because he's so good at bringing the ball out to the back, the Rowdies rely on him to find the outlet. In this position right here, where Josh Perez is, Aaron Guillen will be there dictating, and then he'll be Forrest Lasso. But now, because we have players playing out of position, Memphis 901 is taking advantage.
Jennings trying to run that one down. It was picked up by Romig. 5 clean sheets on the year for Drew. Kyle Jennings, if you're just joining us, already has a brace for Tampa Bay.
16 goals of the season and climbing the charts.
And all of a sudden, DaCosta working his way up that leaderboard with 13 goals of his own.
Oh, look at the touch.
Once again, here they come. It's Fernando attacking, and he's just wide this time.
Well, Fernando has just missed a sitter, but Rodrigo DaCosta just set this up again. Brazilian to Brazilian. They play so good in tight spaces. He flicks it on with the outside of his foot into the path of Fernando. He comes to the left foot, does everything right, just could not bending into that last post. But DaCosta is a man possessed in this first half. And that's Fernando, who just couldn't close the deal.
See the 2 minutes of extra time here. Well, you are right. I think he is the MVP so far. Well, it's hard to say it's not the guy who has scored the goals, DaCosta, but Luis Fernando is certainly setting the tone, isn't he?
Yeah, he's running so well off of the ball. Those diagonal runs that is so hard for players like Clement, Antley, and Doherty to keep up with.
Luis Fernando, the Brazilian, came in here with 7 goals and 3 assists. He has shined in this first half. Perez and Ekra.
Looks like Connor Antley is now playing the centre-back role.
Antley wanted a handball that time. Not called, we play on. McFadden. Leston Paul crosses it over.
You know, 901 doing exactly what the Rowdies usually do, building off of their defensive effort to translate to their attacking opportunities.
And that's going to do it for the first half of play. What a 45 minutes and change it was. Tampa Bay with 2 goals. Memphis with 2 goals of their own. Stuart Dobson will take his team to the locker room. Should be an awesome second half. We'll get you ready for it. Plenty of halftime festivities in Jordan Doherty's 100th appearance match. Tampa Bay and Memphis knotted at 2. We're back after this.
What happens when a company puts health solutions at the center of everything it does? At Florida Blue, Tai Chi happens. Nurse visits happen. This happens. A nutrition class happens. Answers to your health insurance questions happen. And a healthier you happens. So come by your local Florida Blue Center and experience health solutions at the center.
Get ready, get set, get check. It's just that easy to sell your car with MorganBuysCars.com. First, visit MorganBuysCars.com and tell us a bit about your car. Next, receive an express cash offer online. Then, schedule an appointment at one of our 14 convenient locations to pick up your check. Plus, we'll beat anyone's offer on your vehicle or we'll give you $500. So, get ready, get set, and get checked. Online at MorganBuysCars.com.
And we welcome you back to the Visit Tampa Bay halftime show. Visit Tampa Bay, where treasure awaits. Great to have you with us, everybody. What a match we've got so far. 2-2, Tampa Bay and Memphis all tied at the half. Well, we showed it to you a few weeks back, and now it is another edition of one of our funniest segments, the Tampa Bay Rowdies Whisper Challenge.
Hi, Rowdies fans.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Forrest Lasso, and we're the Dons are going to play the Whisper Challenge. We'll be taking turns wearing these noise-canceling headphones to test our lip reading ability. Are you ready? That's a yes. Okay. Sushi burrito.
Sushi? This has to do with Pacific Counter, I'm sure.
Sushi burrito.
And burrito?
Sushi burrito.
Sushi burrito.
Correct.
I don't even know how to read this.
Didgeridoo.
Nah, we're getting a different one. Daddy long legs. Daddy long legs.
Bro, I don't know. Bad Bunny is so loud. Oh my God. First word.
Daddy. Daddy.
Tot.
Daddy.
Knock.
Second word.
Yeah.
Long.
Long.
Third
word.
Legs.
Let. Leg. Leg. Legs. Long legs. Daddy long legs. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Eat pizza.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Eat. It's. Leads. Easy. Easy.
Peasy.
Easy pizza.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
I have no idea what you're saying. Something squeezy at the end.
Easy
peasy, something squeezy. I don't know what the third one is.
He already said it was it, I thought.
I can't hear him, stop pointing at him.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I like turtles.
One more time.
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
That's what I wanted.
I
I
like turtles.
Turtles.
Yeah.
I like turtles?
Yeah.
I like turtles.
Yeah. I like turtles.
I like turtles.
And a special thanks to Aaron Guillen and Forrest Lasso, another edition of the Whisper Challenge. Well done, gentlemen. Rowdies battling with Memphis, tied at 2. Much more to come. News and notes from around the league, and we'll recap the first half right after this.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Welcome back to our Visit Tampa Bay halftime show. 2-2 the score. The Rowdies in Memphis 901 FC. Both teams putting on a show thus far. Great to have you with us, everybody. Drew Felios alongside Ryan Davis. It's been DaCosta for Memphis and Jennings for Tampa Bay. A whole lot more, though, elements for this game, all right?
Yeah, but Memphis's press has allowed DaCosta to open things up for the against the Rowdies. And Memphis's defensive effort so far has outshone anything the Rowdies have done. But we've just got word from the locker room that Cal Jennings is human. He is human, Drew, even though despite what he's showing is inhuman. But the type of goals he's scoring, the difficulty and making it look so easy is just at a whole different level for Cal Jennings.
Yeah, he has been absolutely spectacular. Let's look at big picture now. Go around the league with some USL Championship news and notes. Hispanic Heritage Month continued with San Antonio FC. They hosted a notable Hispanic children's authors, giving away 200+ signed book copies and also raised over $5,000 for children's literacy programs. Just well done, San Antonio. Reiko Arozarena in the news. He, along with Miami FC's Ryan Telfer, CONCACAF, among the best, Ryan. Big stuff there.
Yeah, Arozarena getting his chance for Cuba and absolutely shining on a big stage like that Nations League is the perfect area for him to showcase his talents.
Top 5 power rankings, Pittsburgh with the Rowdies right there. Number 2, Phoenix rising up to number 3. Orange County, Charleston, also in the top 5. The road ahead for the Rowdies is going to be interesting. Let's take a look at that team of the week. And you've got Herrera, the goalkeeper, who is the player of the week. Charlie Dennis, once again, in that team of the week. He is having a sensational season.
Absolutely. He's answered the bell for the Rowdies that Leo Fernandez, of course, could not play this season. Charlie Dennis is that type of player, number 10, creating and scoring. I believe he has 11 goals this season. And then also McFadden for Memphis 901. he has another assist this game. That's 3 assists in just 3 matches.
And our standings, Rowdies 54 points, just behind Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Remember, they're a game down. They still have a game at hand there.
Tell you what, that last game of the season, if everything holds, it's almost like another final right here in Allianz Stadium. In just about 2 weeks, Pittsburgh travels to Tampa Bay Rowdies. What a show.
Always seems like FC Tulsa's in that 8th slot, too, heading into the postseason year after year, doesn't it? There's the scores for tonight. Lou City, they've gone up on Loudoun. They've scored 2 straight. You've got Pittsburgh. Looks like they're going to take care of New Mexico. Charleston, 2-0 over Tulsa. And Detroit City, they're taking it to Hartford right now. That game is at the half. Much more to come. What a shot right there. Great camera work by our crew. 2-2, all tied at halftime.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences, find new roads. Get 2.99% financing for 5 years on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups, or current competitive owners get $3,000 total cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. See your local Chevy dealer.
¿Puede un seguro médico ayudar a curar la soledad? ¿Puede cuidar a tu mejor amigo también? ¿O tomarte de la mano por 9 meses? ¿Puede estar disponible para ti a las 3 a.m.? ¿Puede estar contigo en cada paso? Nosotros sí lo creemos. ¿Qué más puede hacer un seguro médico para ti? Averígualo.
Get ready, get set, get check. It's just that easy to sell your car with MorganBuysCars.com. First, visit MorganBuysCars.com and tell us a bit about your car. Next, receive an express cash offer online. Then, schedule an appointment at one of our 14 convenient locations to pick up your check. Plus, we'll beat anyone's offer on your vehicle, or we'll give you $500. So, get ready, get set, and get checked. Online at MorganBuysCars.com.
The Visit Tampa Bay halftime show rolls on. Visit Tampa Bay, where treasure awaits. Back here in the booth at halftime, Drew Felios alongside Ryan Davis. What a first half. We've seen some incredible individual efforts from the Rowdies. Cal Jennings.
A top 4 matchup equals top 4 performances. Cal Jennings has answered the bell. Rodrigo da Costa, spectacular. So much left in the last 45 minutes. Where does it go? Well, the press begins. And Jan Ekra breaks the tackle, but look at the delivery to Cal Jennings. And Cal Jennings' first touch completely sets everything up right here. And then the left foot, so much confidence, the finesse. 1-0 Rowdies, you'll bet the DJ house, and he delivers yet again. And then the Memphis press works all downhill. Rodrigo da Costa on his left foot, just bends it around corner Sparrow. Absolute beauty to make it 1-1. Then JJ Williams, you flick on, and look at the amount of work that Cal Jennings has to do here. But when he cuts back, he takes the defender and the keeper out of position, and he finishes it with such ease into the near post. 2-1 Cal Jennings. But Memphis weren't done yet. They press yet again. And Rodrigo da Costa starts and finishes the move to bring it back to 2-2. And here comes the statistics. 5 shots to 4, even Steven in that area. Possession, Memphis's press has worked perfectly, resulting in them having the ball for longer periods of time because the Rowdies can't find the passing channels to get it out of their own half. And Memphis dominating in that first 45 minutes.
So we take a deep breath and get you ready for half number 2. Rowdies now will work from left to right. They'll head towards their cheering section. Ralph's Mob and Skyway Casuals. Charlie Dennis will touch it first. Second half underway for Malang. JJ Williams gets ahead on it, and so does Aaron Malloy. Rodrigo da Costa touches out of bounds. He's been the big threat thus far for Memphis. So far, Rowdies' defense has been a little bit compromised. The press has been outstanding for Memphis. Rowdies offensively, though, have been efficient. Cal Jennings has been spectacular. The 2-2 score telling the story.
Interesting to see how Memphis have shortened the field.
A little flick from Hilton, trying to get it to Perez alongside that end line. He'll back it out now. Perez looking more and more comfortable in his role, game to game. Antley circles back here. Cleeman driving it. And now Memphis will take possession.
Again, 901 wins that battle. They want Cleeman to be the playmaker, and Cleeman just giving it away. Of course, Memphis getting pinned down in their own half, couldn't regain possession. But when they shorten the field, it makes the centre backs become the midfielders, and that plays into the hands of Memphis. It takes Lewis Hilton out of the game. It takes Jan Ekra out of the game.
Now it's Dennis. Charlie Dennis switches the point of attack here. And it's Perez handling along that touchline. Send it Dennis's way. I think Charlie saw it coming that time.
But I like the run, though. I like the run that Charlie Dennis did. You cannot stand still. You have to run through the gaps and have the players with the ball have a target to pick off. Or else you're just sitting ducks, allowing the press to come onto you and eventually dispossessing you. So Charlie Dennis at least trying to be aggressive.
Jake LaCava trying to get to it for the Rowdies. Rowdies will have a corner. You said it, Ryan, though. It's making guys for the Rowdies do things they're not usually accustomed to doing. Got certain guys playing out of position, guys a little bit outside their comfort zone, and right now Memphis smells a little bit of blood in the water.
Absolutely. If it wasn't for Cal Jennings' spectacular first 2 goals, this is all Memphis 901.
So now Lewis Hilton will put it in the air. Memphis staff looking on. Hilton the in swinger. Here it comes. The line drive in front of goal. At the feet of Ward now. But Perez takes it right from him. And it will belong to Memphis.
Well, good delivery by Lewis Hilton. Good defensive structure by 901. Josh Perez just couldn't keep it in. But now Memphis have a throw deep in their own half. Let's see how the Rowdies react defensively. They're right up on Memphis. Can Memphis get out of jail here? McFadden has to go all the way back, even closer to the corner flag.
So the defender, Aiden McFadden, to throw it in. Had an assist earlier tonight. Clayman. Dennis again. Ekra. Lewis Hilton. Hilton again in traffic. Going down, and he'll draw contact.
But the intensity of this match has not yet been let down. Lewis Hilton being pulled down. And you can understand why nobody wants to give the ball away in midfield. You can see the Rowdies being penalized twice for 901, dispossessing them in the midfield area. And Lester Paul having some words with Lewis Hilton. Here it is again, Hilton trying to turn away from the pressure. There's Malloy, just too physical. Wrong sport.
Lewis Hilton wearing that captain's armband here tonight with Eric Guillen not in the lineup. Free kick on the way from the home side.
Have to invite Romick to the party here. Play close to the keeper.
Hilton driving it a little bit too far that time into the hands of Romick.
Well, the invitation was sent, but it was too close to Romick. And in the end, the keeper making it look easy, but Lewis Hilton will want that one back.
Look at the Rowdies' body of work this year. They have won 6 games straight here in the friendly confines of Al Lang. That matches a club record for consecutive wins as Connor Antley goes down hard. Akeem Ward running back the other way.
I think the referee's going to have a word here, but he'd be wise not to give him a card. Yes, he did slide tackle, but maybe Ward got a piece of the ball. Did he? Yes, he got a piece of the ball there, but certainly not a yellow card tackle. Tough tackle, and referee not allowing this game to get away at all. So keeping it tight.
Connor Antley grimacing just a bit. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club's on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus, the home of USL, MLS, La Liga, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Two-two, the count here at Al Lang. 52nd minute, just underway, second half. Ekra back to Kleeman. And now Connor Antley. Lazy pass there. Rowdy's got to be a little bit more crisp when working from the back. Williams.
And the big switch by the Rowdies usually means some space. Right here. Excellent bit of closing down by Memphis, though. They react perfectly, slide all the way across. Now the Rowdies have to recycle the ball.
It's Williams. Lost by Ekra. DaCosta's going to fire. Long shot as he saw Sparrow come way off his line. Why not take a shot?
Well, he's on a hat-trick, and the Brazilian doing Brazilian things. Catching the bird out of his nest. And there it is. Just a little peek, and look at the lob. Just audacious attempt, and it wasn't too far off, Drew. I saw you holding your breath.
I'm still holding my breath. Jennings. I don't want the ball to go anywhere near 26. Rowdy's corner on the way. Cal Jennings. A couple brilliant goals tonight. Number 15 and 16 respectively. Is a number 17 in the cards. I have not seen a hat trick here in a while. As Jennings, I believe, accomplished that earlier this year.
He did.
Was the last guy to do it.
Now this is going to be an in-swinger, Drew. Let's see how Roig handles the ball right into his living room.
Hilton comes short with it. Perez. Kleeman gonna drive. Oh, off the crossbar. Ekra. Dennis trying to fight for position, wins possession. Well done by 14. He'll send it in. Rome got a piece of it. Crowd loving the effort.
Well, Charlie Dennis is in the mood. They took something from the playing ground. Instead of the in-swinger, which we're all queuing up for from Lewis Hilton, they go short. He's full of confidence too, hits the crossbar, and then look at this one-time shot. Keeper didn't have a chance. And then his second attempt. Great save in the end by Rumig.
Another corner on the way from Hilton. J.J. Williams trying to redirect. Perez, can he whip it around? He'll lay it for Dennis. Dennis trying to get a long service in, and it's deflected out. Ryan, this game has had a funny tempo to it. We saw DaCosta try and hit with the long ball a minute ago, and then the Rowdies have a couple long ball chances. It's almost been like, what you can do, can we do it better?
Yeah, these two teams are so full of talent.
Here's LaCava, right-footed shot, airmails it. That was a tough angle from Jake, had to do it with his opposite foot.
I think Jake LaCava saw the headlines before he shot the ball. He saw his name in lights, didn't wait for the ball to come down to finish it. I mean, what an opportunity at the far post. Drew, what would my old coach say? You have to keep your head down until the ball hits the back of the net. Right now, he's kicking the cans in his living room. As you see, Jake Stakava kicks the ball over the bar. As the head rises up, the ball follows.
So here in the 56th minute, at least want to go over who the Rowdies do have available tonight. LaCava is on the pitch, as Harris went out in the first half. Sebastian Dahlgaard also can come in. Ariel Martinez has been clutch for Tampa Bay late in games this year. The veteran, and also Lucky Mkosana, the legend, could enter this match late as well.
You know, the fact that Rowdies have Lucky Mkosana, who's this, like you mentioned, this living legend coming off the bench, super sub, and then you have Ariel Martinez, Cuban coffee, full flow with 10 minutes to go. It's two players that can change the game in the latter part of their careers, like Lucky Mkosana. They have that ability to just change the tide within 10 minutes. That's all they need. It's amazing. Same sort of characteristics.
And as I say that, Memphis will go to their bench. Stephen Glass wants some fresh legs in there. So it is going to be for Memphis, Rashawn Daly entering. And if you're a Rowdies fan, you don't mind seeing Luis Fernando head to the bench. He was outstanding in his shift tonight.
Yeah, he was making fantastic diagonal runs back and forth, making a great target for everyone else. Tell you what, Cariaga has a goal to his name. He is very useful. His Jelani Peters coming off.
So J.J. Williams and the Rowdies now back to work after the Memphis substitutions. Doherty, little space to work with here. Charlie Dennis all over the place to start this second half. LaCava. Ekra. Defender on his back, Malloy, and we're gonna have contact here.
Incredible refereeing. He took his time. He wanted to see if Jan Ekra had any sort of advantage. He didn't have the advantage. As soon as Jan Ekra had to turn away from the attacking goal, he blew the whistle. The advantage was not there. Free kick. Fantastic refereeing. I wish we could see that more. But that was brilliant.
So another free kick coming up for Tampa Bay. Lewis Hilton's been a busy man with set pieces as of late. Jake LaCava, Ryan, does he look comfortable right now on the pitch? Looks a little bit like he's trying to figure things out.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually settled in since coming from Miami for the second stint with the Rowdies. Of course, a bit of a letdown for him. Got a chance to go MLS. And of course, one Leo Messi came in and he became surplus to requirements.
Lewis Hilton to send one in here in the 60th. And again, this one sent over the crossbar.
And Lewis Hilton, another person who's not struck the dead ball like we know he can this season. Understandably so, coming back from injury, a long time on the shelf. And 901, one of the keys to the game, can they play out to the Rowdies press? And if they do, they're going to have their opportunities.
Memphis now, numbers forward. Look out, here they come again. Jeremy Kelly, left side. This ball crossed, shot, and saved. DaCosta going for his hat trick. Number 10, denied by Sparrow.
Well, DaCosta wanted that one, that pass lower. And Akimi Ward, there was a deflection, it bounced up in front of him. DaCosta, and he couldn't keep it, he couldn't get the power that he wanted. And the Rowdies taking evasive action, trying to go long to J.J. Williams to get away from this press, but it doesn't work.
Relax boldly in Tampa Bay. Claim your next adventure at visitampabay.com. That's visitampabay.com. Fireworks in the first half. Second half, relatively calm up until now. Memphis up at the feet of Antley. He'll send it back to Sparrow here.
Oh, brilliant. Fantastic stuff from McFadden, coming all the way from right back to put pressure on Sparrow, and then Sparrow calmly finds the feet of Dennis. And both of these teams, like you said before, who's going to blink first? With both teams pressing and both teams trying to play out of the back.
Dennis, and now Jordan Doherty. Dennis asking for it. LaCava attacking. Jake LaCava looking for number 14. Goes off the feet and then the face of Charlie Dennis. And Aaron Malloy gets called for a foul here, and some players from Memphis having a word with Ricardo Fierro.
Well, as the ball is coming in, the defenders have to engage. They can't afford Charlie Dennis to trap and look up, so they're closing as quick as they could. He tries to flick it on. A little piece there, but you can see the contact. And that's going to hurt. The cleats on a toe, Drew. Let me tell you something. You're going to ice that thing for the next 3 days. Referee Fierro just addressing Graham Smith. Now, Lewis Hilton had a shot that ended up in Skyway Casuals section. Charlie Dennis, Perez, they all having a bit of a meeting. But I'm going to go with Charlie Dennis on this one, Drew. Didn't get one over the wall in the first half. And I think he's going to learn from that first sequence.
Josh Perez also on top of it. He'll head into position here. Hilton and Dennis give each other the nod. Jordan Doherty also getting position. Sam Carriega. It's been a hands battle tonight. Dennis, oh! By a fingernail, nearly tucked it in to that top corner.
Well, he tried to call Romig's bluff. Romig was inching across to the wall side, thinking that Dennis was going to go up and over the wall. Dennis goes to the keeper side with pace. Romig comes back across, gets a hand to it. Good save in the end. He leaned left, then went back right. Excellent save.
Great shot, great save. Great soccer altogether. Now, here's Hilton. Hilton with a curler. Romig comes out, punches it. Ekra. Dennis. Jan Ekra, some room to work. Oh, ball just gets taken away from him. Held it maybe just a half second too long. And now Memphis trying to make the Rowdies pay. Rashawn Dally, fresh legs and all. Antley trying to stay with him. Connor Antley, good slide.
Well, this all started when Da Costa was breaking free. Connor Antley had to pull out of the tackle in midfield because he's on a yellow card. If he dove in and he missed the tackle, that's a red card. He pulled back, and somehow the ball popped out from Memphis 901. With good recovery in the end by the Rowdies. Dally in the end just a little indecisive and couldn't make use of the space.
Sparrow, a little hesitation now with Antley. Okay, Ryan, 65th minute. I usually ask you this question. Any sub off the bench could possibly affect this game the most, the way it is being played right now?
Absolutely. I mean, I would love to see Seb Dalgard to come in there to replace one of the wingers, either on the left side with Perez or the right side with LaCava. I know LaCava is a substitute, but he has not impacted the game, Drew. So it's fair to say he can come off. but I'm not sure how fit Dalgard is. The fact that Lacava was the first choice at that right midfield when Harris got injured means that Dalgard is still nursing that injury and basically making up numbers. But Ariel Martinez is that kind of guy, shifty, creative, and he can come in for a J.J. Williams to partner up. And there's Dalgard, the Great Dane.
Sepp Dalgard, one of our favorite players. Well, eFootball 2024 is here. You can live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. Feel free to play. Download now. eFootball 2024.
Take my advice. Anybody looking for a good footy? Oh,
this ball is at the feet of Da Costa, the open net, and Memphis will make the Rowdies pay. What a play. Collisions all over the pitch. And 901 has their first lead.
Well, a bit of an unfortunate bounce, but 901 making the most of that fortune. And Carriaga following up on a deadly strike. Pinpoint. Da Costa still down with the collision. There's Carriaga's ball. Brilliant. Sparrows in two minds. Da Costa got there. There's the follow through. But look at Carriaga following up the play. And a beautiful bit of technique to finish it. There's Da Costa anticipating the ball. Fantastic pass by Carriaga. And he's the one to finish it. And Memphis 901 have capitalized on their opportunities, and Sparrow can't believe it. He hesitated coming off his line. Da Costa got there first. Carriaga finished it up.
Rowdies getting hydrated here in the 68th. Getting ready for the stretch run. Perez a little frustrated now. Tampa Bay feels like they've played good enough. Rarely have they been in this position this year at home, trailing late.
Have to say, Memphis is a combination of things. Memphis 901 having some confidence, beating the Rowdies 2 weeks ago, then coming into this match with that confidence. They're healthy. Their players up front are producing. Rodrigo Da Costa looks fantastic. So too Fernando, he didn't convert. And this man, Stephen Glass, has got it right. His press has put the Rowdies in an awkward position, and the Rowdies being short-handed at the back has made that press look more difficult than it already is. And they've capitalized on that. Their defensive pressure has turned into an offensive fortune and created opportunities for Memphis 901 on the road in our land.
2-1 a final, Pittsburgh over New Mexico. So the Riverhounds do their jobs to pull ahead of the Rowdies and put a little bit more pressure on Tampa Bay tonight. And I believe Stephen Glass was a yellow distributed right there to him. So Ralph Smob tries to fire up the home side here for the stretch run. Again, Lacava kind of sent it into no man's land that time. Daly and Memphis playing as good as they have played all season right here tonight. This 3-2 score was the same score that they were able to defeat the Rowdies by back on September 6th.
Talk about South American influence on this Memphis team. Brazilians, Carriaga and Argentine. Oh, look at Da Costa's control. Beautiful.
Da Costa again. Memphis running once more. And that ball deflected out of bounds. Sparrow comes over.
Well, huge save by Sparrow. Rashawn Daly just put it on target, but it was all Rodrigo Da Costa. They go directly to the Brazilian. His control takes the defender out of the play and then lays it into the path of Daly. right now, if things stand, Charleston Battery goes in the second place, as they would win their match, and it would be 2 points ahead of the Rowdies, despite the Rowdies having a game in hand. So the East is clamored.
So this is Malloy. Williams gets up. LaCava, a deflection. Jake trying to set himself up here. Hilton sees him. Stays on side, and the Rowdies now getting numbers forward.
Great job by 901, getting back and staying compact. And now the Rowdies have to recycle, and there's no more counter-attack.
Dennis trying to flick it to Jake. And the Rowdies will have it. A good spot here. Still no signs of a substitution on the Tampa Bay side. Jake LaCava trying to catch his breath. Here's the turn from Jennings. Jennings, a great spot. Williams, oh, tremendous save from Romig. J.J. Williams, a beautiful header, and again, great goalkeeping by Drew Romig.
Well, Carl Jennings just trying to put it into the mix-up, and he did. It was behind J.J. Williams. He had to go backwards. That's why he couldn't get the power on it. And Romig a comfortable save in the end.
Right now, if you're Memphis, you're in the driver's seat. A goal up. Less than 20 minutes regulation time. Visiting side wants to take a little air out of it. Here's Daly again. Sparrow will pick it up for the Rowdies.
I think you just saw the difference between the two teams right there. As the Rowdies try to press high, the defensive players of Memphis, these are regular players in their regular positions, are picking out the passes a little easier, a little quicker than the Rowdies backline at the moment. So they're being able to extend the Rowdies or stretch the Rowdies defense by their ball playing ability out of the back.
Williams trying to break through. Too much traffic there. Memphis controlling most of the tempo here in the second half, as Perez now will throw it in.
Tell you what, Memphis, if this score holds, will be dead even with Louisville for that, but they'll have the goal difference advantage, so they will be in that fourth spot, Memphis, with Louisville at fifth.
Off the foot of Perez, so it skates out. McFadden has played well tonight, had a goal and 2 assists coming in. Recently called up.
Got the assist for that second goal for Rodrigo da Costa just before the half.
On loan from Atlanta United. Little hesitation this time. Here we come. Memphis once more. Rowdies recover. Lewis Hilton digs it out. Right now, Memphis just seems like they're a little quicker to the ball.
Yeah, the Rowdies look like players who are playing out of position, some with some fatigue. And 901 starting to get the ball rolling, and they seem to have momentum coming into this match.
Now Akeem Ward. DaCosta turns. Little flick up. Trying to hit Ward. Ekra, middle of the park where he operates so well. Malloy. And now McFadden all over Jan Ekra.
And again, referee Fierro trying to play the advantage for Jan Ekra, and as soon as he turned away from the goal and had no more momentum, he brought the play back.
And now Lewis Hilton goes down. Hilton, remember, has had ankle issues this year. And Malloy going to get booked as Lewis Hilton slowly gets up for the Rowdies.
Well, you love the aggression by Malloy, but there was no danger here. Hilton is turning away from the goal, close to the halfway line. No reason to engage. And picks up a yellow card.
Stu Dobson, you see the phone is out.
So you think Coach Lowe got the phone back from the parking garage?
I think so. Certainly on WhatsApp. And Nicky Law, far away, would love to have a camera in his house right now as he is enjoying and also coaching from around the world. And once again, a play stoppage. You can save money and earn benefits by jumping on board with 2024 Rowdies season tickets today by going to rowdiesoccer.com or calling 727-222-2000. Clap that the Rowdies fans have embraced here in 2023.
Yep. And the supporters are starting to get on their feet, try to get them going. But Memphis 901 have been all class tonight. McFadden, one of the leaders of this team in the last 3 or 4 games. And there's his support.
Romig, the long drive. Ecker again. That pass right there has been difficult for Tampa Bay tonight.
Brilliant press again. This time it was Peters. No, this time it was Lester Paul closing on Ecker. Ecker doing a great job evading it, but you see the mentality, Drew, to close down. They're hunting in packs. 3 white shirts around Ecker. If that ball is stolen, they're in on goal.
Clayman, far side, Perez. Everybody's going to have to do a little bit more in green and gold till the finish line.
Now Connor Antley's waiting over here if the ball can get switched, but it's not. Again, it's Paul.
Jeremy Kelly holds things up. Kelly out of the Czech Republic. Malloy. Looks like Lucky Mkosana is up for the Rowdies. Could see 77 here momentarily. Ekra. Send this one forward to Jennings. They're not going to let him get close. Romig on top of it.
Tell you what, it doesn't get easier for Memphis 901 after playing their rivals Birmingham Legion 1-1 on Wednesday. Of course, here in Ireland, then they have to play Birmingham again next week Saturday. And that's going to be another tough match, as the Legion are in hunt for a playoff spot as well.
Once again, here's Carriega, already sitting on a goal from Memphis. And again, it's DaCosta. He scores, and he's got the hat trick. Rodrigo DaCosta with a performance to savor here tonight in St. Pete.
Well, 6s and 7s at the back, and it's this man, Carriaga, in the second half. And Memphis 901, they're feeling it, and they should. There's the Argentine in the crowd, and Carriaga with the finish, and now the assist. Lucky Mkosana is coming on, but it might be too little too late. Defensively, the Rowdies are absolutely cracking up. Carriaga picking out DaCosta, no one around DaCosta. Everyone just closing in on the Argentine. And Lacava, who came in the second half, in the first half, has to come out. Brilliant stuff by Stephen Glass, but here it is again. Here's Carriaga taking the ball right down to Clement. Now he looks over to his left, and guess what? Jordan Doherty completely leaves Da Costa by himself, and he falls to his knees. Doherty, he couldn't believe it. And Memphis 901 just taking their opportunities, Drew, that the Rowdies are offering.
Keep in mind, Rowdies without Forrest Lasso and without Aaron Guillen, two of their top defenders tonight. But you know, you can't make excuses in a game like this. Sometimes you have to play with who you have available. And the Rowdies, Freddie Kleeman, who has played deep minutes for Tampa Bay this year. Also, Connor Antley, when he is at his best, one of the top defenders on the team. But defending has been a challenge tonight. This Memphis team, they have had a plan. Here's Lucky coming right back, and it has been just so close. The theme for 77 this year, he has not been able to get on the score sheet in 2023. So close.
But Jordan Doherty trying to make up for that mistake, bends it around. What a ball into the path of Lucky Mkosana. And boy, oh boy, a half a yard, 6 inches away from 4-3.
You know that goal is going to come at some point this fall for Lucky. So now it's Lewis Hilton. Rowdy's going to have to rev up the engine here. A little bit of a sense of urgency. You can sense it. Tampa Bay really went into a lull there, Ryan. I did not like that last 10 minutes. Here's Jennings. Corner kick.
Well, if you want to see this again, Carl Jennings gives the defender a little bump to get some space and win that ball. He's just so on top of his game. Ball over the top by Lewis Hilton. Look at the little bump by Carl Jennings. Boop, right there. There goes Akeem Ward. He's in on goal. Good job by Rubik making himself large.
Carl Jennings not done yet. And neither are the Rowdies. '84th minute, here it comes from Hilton. J.J. Williams. Ball gets sent back, Antley. Right side now, Hilton. Service once more. Far side, Williams. Oh, we had a push in the back that time. Official right there. Rowdies have not gotten the benefit of the doubt very often.
There's Charlie Dennis trying to do whatever he can to try to win this header. Brilliant ball by Lewis Hilton. Teasing cross. And there's Charlie Dennis, 2 hands out. Easy call for the referee.
You think back to that one goal for the Rowdies that was waved off in the first half. The one that went off the head of Williams into the goal. The Rowdies would love that goal right now to be on the board.
So, update on the scoring charts. Rodrigo Da Costa, 13 goals. And now Carl Jennings, 16. He's third, 1 goal behind Dikwa and Trejo.
Well, Da Costa came into the game with 11. He's had 3 tonight, so that's 14 now.
14 goals, yeah, you're right. So he's now gone up to a 5th with Oluwesi.
Jennings. Cross. Lucky in the neighborhood. Boy, when Lucky gets on the pitch, there's just chaos on the other side. He is something.
Yeah, positioning. Just knows exactly where to go to get on the end of the ball.
Carriaga. Oh, I really like him.
Oh,
back heel now. Here's that number 5.
Yeah, Da Costa's pointing the corner flag. Carriaga, young, sprightly, full of energy, wants the ball to be played.
Rowdies have spent more time chasing tonight than they would like. Here's McFadden.
Well, the story of Rodrigo da Costa, he was the lifeblood of Tulsa. All-time leading goals and assists. Gets traded. A swap with Phil Goodrum. Phil Goodrum having 6 goals in 9 appearances this season has been brilliant. And Rodrigo da Costa just continuing along his brilliance. Now 14 goals split between Tulsa and Memphis. He has 10 goals with Memphis. Just been brilliant.
A couple more players will sub in for Memphis. If you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, here are live matches from USL, MLS, English Premier, and more. Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app as da Costa exits. Big smile on his face here tonight.
Does he deserve a rest? Brilliant stuff. Not only did he score, but he set up one of the goals as well. So 3 goals and assists. He's had a hand in every goal tonight for Memphis. The Brazilian doing Brazilian things.
Rowdies will throw it in here. Perez. Again, we knew from the jump this game was going to be extremely difficult with the amount of players that the Rowdies had out. Dylan Borchak, another player that checked in. He came in for da Costa. And I think Dayon Harris, if he had been healthy tonight, could have really had an impact on things.
Yeah, that's put salt in the wound for the Rowdies. Seb Dalgard, who's on the bench, did not come on for obviously for good reason. Now you have Dayon Harris going out tonight at that wide right position. Will Dalgard be ready for the next match?
Hilton, low line drive. Doherty gets ahead on it, and it's Romig. Right place, right time.
Well, similar to J.J. Williams, this time it was Doherty quite rightly being yellow arm, flagged offside. Remember J.J. Williams scoring, like you mentioned, Drew, header off of a free kick from Lewis Hilton. They said it was offside. We went back to the replay. He was actually onside. And that was a tough one to swallow for the Rowdies.
Connor Antley drives it. Lucky Mkosana with Jennings. Just could not control it. Perez.
That was all Turchi, number 8, the Brazilian, all over Kyle Jennings. Lovely touch from Lucky Mkosana, beautiful deft touch. And Turchi, number 8, not allowing Jennings to control.
Bruno Lapa set to check in.
Oh, this is the depth of this Memphis team. Bruno Lapa is a player, another Brazilian. Lapa already 4 goals and 3 assists in this season. Technical player coming on for Kelly and is now picking up minutes off of the bench.
So Memphis has used all their options here as we're in the 90th minute.
Well, Tim Howard is going to be on Premier League mornings tomorrow on NBC. Let's see how big the smile is if this score holds.
You know, if you're the Rowdies, you can look at this game and say, okay, we were a little short-handed, didn't go our way over the long haul. It's good it happens now. In the postseason, we can make those adjustments. We'll be at full strength, hopefully. If you're the Rowdies, you don't really lose too much. You learn from this. You don't really think of it as a loss.
Yeah, make no mistake. The Rowdies want to win the regular season. That is the priority. But if they come short, they have a grace period here, Drew, where they can get healthy over the next 3 games and then begin the playoff in 4 weeks. By then, they will have most of the staff ready to go.
Manley trying to get to it. Not going to happen here. And we're in extra time. 3 minutes of extra time. So Memphis, this score holds, it'll be their 13th victory of the season. Increase their total to 49 points. Rowdies again sitting on the 54. Player sitting down on the far side of the field. And that is Perez. He is exhausted. He has run non-stop tonight. Seb Dahlgaard finally checks in.
Yeah, the Great Dane, look at that big bandage on the knee. And he's just going to have 3 minutes. Clearly the instructions will be, do not get hurt.
So Lewis Hilton asking for a delay there. Rowdies resume play. Well, it had flashes of brilliance. Cal Jennings certainly provided that for the Rowdies, but not much else from the other players on the field. Very choppy, and it looked like a Rowdies team that was just uncomfortable tonight.
Thought Jan Ekra was brilliant. Cal Jennings, of course. JJ Williams was great as well.
Lucky looking for position here. Jennings. Jennings! Goodness.
Do not blink. Cal Jennings picking up his scraps. Look at Lucky Mkasana chesting it down. He works for it. Looks like a foul on Malloy. Make no mistake, but again, just roaming. No chance.
He has been like a road runner tonight.
Do the beat through. Just do the song. Come on, just do one. Beat. Come on, just get in there.
Best cartoon on Saturday mornings, wasn't it?
Poor Wile E. Coyote. Couldn't get a break. But I think very much exposed, Drew. Memphis 901 understood what the Rowdies, they were short-handed, where they were short-handed at the back and the wide spots. So they pressed high and the Rowdies could not find an outlet.
Jennings trying to get the angle. Not this time.
And because the press worked so well, it turned into the Rodrigo da Costa show, he was magnificent, picking up and taking advantage of that space.
Yeah, the stars aligned perfectly for da Costa here tonight. Jennings and Stu Dobson looking on, just not the Rowdies' night. But again, one that they'll certainly learn from as we approach now the final seconds. Romig certainly in no hurries.
It's going to stop the streak for the Rowdies after 6 consecutive wins in Al Lang Stadium. What a game by Memphis. Completely deserved.
Clayman touches out of bounds. Dahlgaard trying to throw it in here. Rowdies hoping for perhaps one more opportunity. Hilton working quickly. Antley crossing back. Able to stay on his feet. Dennis from that corner. Antley, and that'll do it full time. Folks, Memphis has come to Tampa Bay and upset the Rowdies. 4-2 the final. Cal Jennings a brilliant night, but it's not enough. Memphis gets a big one on the road. We'll recap when we return here to Al Lang Stadium.
Imagine a company steeped in heritage, innovating into the promise of what the future can bring, like a phoenix helping others find prosperity. Sagicor's brand, the wisdom to help people make solid financial decisions and the compassion to do good for society and those in need. Life insurance and annuities from Sagicor show your partner, family, and loved ones just how much you care about their financial security. Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
Tough one tonight for the Rowdies. They fall 4-2 to Memphis. It's the first loss at home for Tampa Bay since April 12th when Charleston came in here and won 2-1. But again, certainly one the Rowdies are going to learn from. And so many highlights in this game. First, a goal that was waved off. It looked like the Rowdies had a 1-0 lead, Ryan. He
was about a yard onside, gets there, gives them a 1-0 lead, and called back for being offside is J.J. Williams. And then Carl Jennings goes to work. The first touch completely sets this one up, the second one. And a man possessed, Carl Jennings, makes it 1-0 Rowdies, but Memphis claw their way back. Counter press, Rodrigo da Costa, the Brazilian, bends it around corner Sparrow, you beauty, the number 10. And it's 1-1. Then J.J. Williams to Carl Jennings. Look at the amount of work. He snaps back. Defender, keeper out of position. 2-1 Rowdies. He's an animal. Carl Jennings had the brace early. It looked like the Rowdies were going to take control of this game, but Memphis continued to press, continued to create their own chances, and da Costa again. A complete nuisance. Ball comes out right at the feet of Carriega. Yep, the Argentine was full of life. He set it up and finished it up to make it 2-2. Actually 3-2. And then Carriega again. Doherty leaves da Costa, and da Costa gets a much-deserved hat-trick. A toe poke in the top corner, something that Romario, the Brazilian legend, will be proud of. And Memphis 9-1 thoroughly deserved their 4-2 victory in our land. Look at the final numbers tonight. Shots about even, shots on target, slight edge to Memphis. Yellow cards, very physical game from start to finish. The offside early really hurt the Rowdies. They had a lot of set pieces. Tampa Bay did, just could not capitalize. Hope they can get better in that category as the year moves on. Let's take a look at that upcoming schedule for Tampa Bay, and they cannot sulk over this one. They head to Hartford midweek for a Wednesday contest. That's the best thing. Yep. Get right back on the bike and get started again. Got Loudoun next week right here at Al Lang, so we'll see you then. And then Pittsburgh comes here to Al Lang Stadium on October 7th. Then Lou City, and hopefully, we hope, that Eastern Conference quarterfinal first round match played here in downtown St. Pete. The Rowdies certainly have a lot of soccer to be played and still in great position. Right now, they simply need to get healthy and get guys clicking on all cylinders. But the man of the moment tonight is Rodrigo da Costa. The hat trick leading Memphis to a win over Carl Jennings and the Rowdies. 4-2 final score. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. For Ryan Davis and our phenomenal crew here at Al Lang Stadium, I'm Drew Fellio saying so long from downtown St. Pete. Have a great rest of your weekend.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.